on here? We have a southwest wind. How lucky are we? All the way back to St. Martin, we might have a beam sail.
I just had a look over the back of the boat and I saw a bunch of whales spouting. I don't think you'll be able to see them on the camera, but they're there. That's pretty cool.
Where are we?
We're just off the coast of Virgin Gorda.
Just off the coast of Virgin Gorda.
During the evening, the winds make an abrupt turn to the west. Now we're fighting a downwind sail, and it fluctuates between northwest and southwest all evening, right until we drop anchor back in St. Martin.
Good morning. As you can see, Andrew is up the mast again today in St. Martin, Sunday, January 26, 2020. And when he comes down, we'll show you why. When our topping lift broke, that's our boom line that holds the boom up, Andrew went up the mast. He noticed that our halyard, this is our original halyard from when the Lagoon catamaran was built, there was chafing on it. And we did not want to have another breaking incident when we're at sail. We decided that we were just going to cut this piece off. It's just over a meter because we do have lots of extra halyard down here, and tie it on because a new line was going to cost about $1,000. So this is going to be our first step to see if this will work. It'll save us quite a bit of money. So it was, probably a good thing that that topping lift broke. We're going for a little walk tour, St. Martin. And it comes out here. Ooh, there's Saba across the way. Here are the 3 new lithium batteries that should be installed pretty soon. He's here, he's here!
Good afternoon.
Time for new batteries. Woo! Let's check the charge. Make sure they're not dead.
No, I want it to be the same.
They're quite equal.
Very.
Did you charge them or they?
Came like this.
They came like this. Roddy just checked the batteries to see if they all had the same voltage. So they're all made in the same day, same batch.
Why is that important?
Because if the factory is warmer or cooler, you get a different amount of metal in your batteries, and then they're not the same.
Okay, so hint number 1. Okay, the before picture. These batteries are so dead that they heat up our bed, because this is under our bed. Under the bed. It's like a heated bed. The empty battery locker. Ratty is able to take all the batteries, old batteries, into his boat. So we loaded up the boat. 1 battery just to run our fridge and freezer right now. And that's where they fit. Now we're just making new jumper cables to go between the batteries. New cables. Lithium batteries installed. Except, well, we haven't anchored them down. We're going to put these straps back on them. Making coffee this morning with no generator on. Listen to that quiet. Coffee made, lights on. Now let's go see what the state of charge of the batteries are. 100%. Now we're trying the induction cooker to see if it affects the power. We just came back and it says 99%. We were worried that maybe something was wrong after we used microwave and a coffee maker this morning and nothing, no state of charge went down. Now we're going to check it now. What is happening with our batteries now is that they are almost fully charged. The ampage down here is almost nothing going in, and we're just over 14. The volts going in, we're just over 14 volts, 9 amps going in. So after that's all full, we will get it programmed correctly with our wind and solar. There we go. We have negative amps going in now, which means we're just using it. So the batteries are full. 14.23 volts in the batteries and discharging. So we are totally full. Now we're going to see if our solar and wind does anything. And then it has to be programmed properly. I'm going to give you a little update today. It's day 2 with our lithium batteries in. It's Thursday, the January 30th, 2020. We went down to 76% last night with the batteries. We plugged in our big chest freezer, and that took quite a bit of juice to get that into freezing temperature. We were at the 76% after our coffee this morning. And still not a very sunny day in St. Martin. They're having lots of rain, lots of overcast. So we only charged up to 83%. And tomorrow morning we're going to put on the generator and charge it to 100% because Ratty from Electech wants to make sure that the voltage does not stay above 14 volts. I told him that after he was here yesterday, it stayed about 13.15 volts for the whole day as it was charging, but he doesn't believe me, so he wants to see it for himself. I told him about an hour after he left, the voltage went down from 14.22 to 13.15 after about an hour after he left. And he just wants to make sure, which is good, because we don't want to burn out our batteries. We're still not getting any wind power. It's dead calm here. There's just no wind. I don't even know if we can leave St. Martin because there's no wind to leave here. And we really want to get going to the Panama, so these batteries need to get organized quickly. And in the meantime, we've took our fridge apart to see why that's leaking, but it's all doing what it should. It's just, you know, a cheap boat fridge, and that's what they do. Water drips out. We still haven't strapped the batteries down. Andrew's going to do that tomorrow morning, and we'll end the video with me showing you how we strap those down. And we're also trying to make our chest freezer fridge cooler plugged into 12 volt. Instead of plugging them into the boat where it takes about 20 amps, and if we use a 12 volt it's maybe about 7 amps. So we're trying to do that also. The little hints for lithium batteries: do not just get anybody to drop them in. They really need to be programmed, because if they're not programmed with your wind and solar, your batteries might only last 5 or less years, and if you program them and look after them correctly, they could last you 20 years. So don't let anybody tell you that they're just drop in. Sure, you can drop them in, but there's lots to do after to make them work correctly.
28.
Cutting the pieces to anchor down our strapping for our batteries.
Next step is to sand and glue these blocks together.
Why are you doing that?
I want to have a good stop for the batteries,
And why are you gluing two together?
so that they're big enough to stop the batteries from hopping over the blocks.
Sorry for the noise. This hotel has got lots of construction happening, so all sorts of machinery going on.
Here is a made block. It gets epoxied down with this. and then we strap the batteries in. Two straps on each battery. Each battery is 60 pounds. There's about 8 screws to hold the straps, so they only have to hold a little less than 8 pounds each, the screws.
Then we'll finish putting them all in and batteries are done and we'll be ready to go if wind comes.